What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Tyranny, and I'm back with another Spend the Night with Tyranny in the hospital. As of right now, unfortunately, as you guys can see, I am currently readmitted into the hospital. Um, of course, you all know, uh, and to those of you that don't know, I have sickle cell anemia. Um, so as you all know, I made a couple videos last week where I was pretty much kind of going through the same thing, just dealing with my sickle cell, and um, I was able to get discharged. I got discharged, even though at that moment I did not feel like I was ready to be discharged at all. Not even that I didn't feel like I was ready to be discharged, but more so I didn't feel well enough. Um, I didn't feel as if I was well enough that I should have been getting discharged. But um, I had a doctor that was just a complete idiot. To say the least. I could really say a lot more about this doctor. That's just how much of an issue he has become in my life. This particular doctor I've had issues with for as long as I can remember. I've literally gone above and beyond to try and get to anybody that was over him, any type of supervisor or any type of patient coordinator or patient advocate, anybody I could possibly talk to help with this issue that I've been constantly having with this one doctor. He has absolutely no respect for patients with sickle cell anemia. Um, I've witnessed it not within him just dealing with me, but also other sickle cell patients that has dealt with this same physician, and him just feeling like he can treat you any kind of way, he can talk to you in any type of way and just throw his weight around because he's walking around with a badge on that has MD behind his name. Um, Long story short, I done gone above and beyond to get these people to keep this man as far away from me as possible. And for whatever reason, it's like he go out of his way whenever he's at work. He comes to work. It's almost as if I'm starting to feel like he almost goes and look and check and see, check for me to see if I'm admitted as a patient, just so he can try and come in and make my situation even worse than what I'm already dealing with at that moment. Um, so unfortunately, because I had a doctor that was a part of his team that he was one of his students. Last week, they discharged me regardless of me telling them that I didn't feel like I was strong enough to be getting discharged at the moment and that I felt as if I needed a blood transfusion. Um, Fortunately, I've had sickle cell long enough and I pay attention to my body and the way it responds to this illness long enough to know when my hemoglobin is low, to know when any type of I may have any type of infection or anything that's going on. I pretty much pay attention to my body for the most part. So um I do very well with being able to identify kind of what's going on with me during each pain crisis. So yeah, they discharged me Um, I left, went home, continued to do what I would do if I'm at home trying to manage a sickle cell crisis, which is basically just stay hydrated, um, take my pain medications, um, shoot, what else? Me, I don't know about anybody else, but me, when I soak in the bathtub in hot water, in a tub of hot water, as hot as I can stand it, that relaxes me and help uh ease my pain just a little bit. It's something that I know to do at home. And then sleeping with a heating pad. I'll also have a heating pad, little stuff like that to try to keep just from just jumping up and just running straight back to the hospital and having to go through all the BS that I tend to have to go through whenever I come to this particular hospital facility. Um, I am from North Carolina. To those of you who don't know, I'm from North Carolina. Um, Originally from Enfield, North Carolina, to be particular. But unfortunately, Enfield itself doesn't have a hospital. So when I was born, I was actually born in Roanoke Rapids. But Enfield and Roanoke Rapids, all of it is Halifax County. If you know, you know. Not really a big area. Um, and so when I was born, and they were able to confirm that, yeah, true indeed, I was born with sickle cell anemia, type HBSS, HGBSS. My bad, forgive me. So literally, I was born in Halifax County. And when I was born and diagnosed with this illness, literally, there wasn't one doctor in this entire facility, in that entire facility, that specialized in treating sickle cell anemia. So whenever I would get sick, for the most part, I would always end up having to be transported to Greenville and being treated at Greenville Hospital. So um, I would be in and out the hospital so much growing up. As a kid, I would be in and out the hospital quite often. And unfortunately, I'm not the only child. Um, from my mom, I have an older brother as well. And so um, I would get sick and be in and out of hospital. They have to transport us to Greenville, and which Greenville is all over an hour away from Enfield. So me having a big brother and him, still having to go to school, um, things of that nature. He would miss school a lot because our dad was a full-time truck driver, and then that left us only having our mom. And when I say only having, like, don't misinterpret that for me saying that, oh, the rest of my family, didn't pull together to help my mama as much as they possibly could, because that's not true. I actually, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncles, yeah, they all, helped as much as they possibly could, especially our grandmother, or whatever the case may be. Y'all, please forgive me. I don't know. I think I got an eyelash in my eye or something. But okay, so Yeah, my brother would miss a lot of school though, unfortunately. So it got to a point where my dad was just like, okay, you know what? We're moving to Greenville. We're just gonna find a house. I'm gonna find a house in Greenville. We're gonna move to Greenville. Please disregard that noise from that machine. It's irritating. It's trying to check my vitals, and I'm not even hooked up to it. It's not even time for my vitals to be checked yet. So I'm gonna carry on with talking to you guys. Um. So yeah. My dad decides, okay, well, yeah, look, this is just make it easier on everybody. All her doctors there. She always in and out the hospital. You know, we might as well just move to Greenville. That way, we won't be a burden to anybody, and life goes on. I'll be receiving the best care that I could possibly receive, and that's just that on that. Um, Move to Greenville. Don't get me wrong. I had the absolute best hematology team, pediatric hematology team that you could have ever had as a kid growing up with sickle cell. The absolute best. Those doctors really, literally loved us and treated us as if we were their own kids. They did not play about us at all. They would literally, I've seen times, they would literally go as far as to even correct your parents if they felt as if they weren't doing their part. Not saying that mine wasn't doing their part. I'm just saying this is the doctor we had. They did not play about us point blank. Period. Is my point. Hmm. And so, um, we moved to Greenville, and yeah, um, I still constantly was in and out of the hospital dealing with complications due to this illness. I grew up pretty much living in this hospital. Like when people say, "Oh, you're home away from home," like literally, this place had become my home away from home. I went my school away from school. I literally went to school here. Um, I like got so close with a lot of the staff, a lot of the employees, nurses, doctors, uh, case managers, etc., to a point where literally they were like my family to a degree. Certain ones, not all of them, because I had my issues with a few. Because everybody that know me tends to know that it's mouth. Yeah, but anyway, that's not the topic of that's not the conversation we finna have. But no, so seriously, yeah, this was like my home away from home. They and I had the best care really when I was a kid living with sickle cell. I have to give them their props because they really did look out for us. They went above and beyond for us. They went the extra mile for us. But unfortunately, the day comes where you're not a kid anymore. And when the day comes that you're not a kid anymore, now you get to experience how it is being treated as an adult, a full grown adult living with sickle cell anemia. And when I tell y'all, it's a whole different ball game. A whole different ball game. A whole different level of management. Everything. Um, I feel as if me personally, this is just my personal opinion. I feel as if once you transition over to adult care with sickle cell anemia. Sorry about that, y'all. I feel like once you become an adult living with sickle cell anemia, um, my personal opinion, they don't care as much about the level of care. Um, I feel as if no one is going the extra mile or even willing to go the extra mile to give us any type of care that could give us true longevity in living with this illness and um overall just a better quality of life. I feel like it's more so about the money that they make off of us having to go through everything we go through with this illness. Um, they, meaning hospital facilities, pharmacies, doctors, nurses, etc. Um, yeah, and so I feel like it's just about the money. Once you become an adult with sickle cell, they don't care as much. They stereotype you as being what they call frequent flyers. If you happen to be back and forth in and out the hospital or in and out of the emergency room, yeah, eventually you get to the point where they stamp that they stereotype us into what they call frequent flyers. And if you're a sickle cell patient, or you don't even have to be a sickle cell patient, just basically anybody that got any illness that keeps them to have to cause them to have to come to the hospital often. Basically, they label us and stereotype us all off and call us frequent flyers. I hate it. I hate the term. I hate just everything about it. Like I can't even really find the words when I start to talk about this part of it because the whole stereotype thing it has rubbed me the wrong way since the beginning. Like it's rubbed me the wrong way since the beginning. Them stereotyping us and trying to make us look as if we freaking enjoy having to run back and forth to the hospital, or not even enjoy running back and forth to the hospital, but enjoy literally having to constantly fight a battle that we had no choice of the matter in um even having to be a part of in the first place. Um they start to treat you as if you asked to be born with sickle cell anemia, if it makes sense. They treat you as if sickle cell is just like a common cold or something. Like it just don't matter. There's the lack of education about this illness is so rare. It's crazy. Like a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people about my illness, and anybody that I talk to about my illness, I try and educate them as much with as much information as I can about this illness because this illness is changing lives. This illness has changed lives. This illness has taken lives. It's not a game. There's thousands of kids being born to this world today that's going to be forced to deal with a chronic blood illness that's going to affect them every single day for the rest of their life. And I'm not God, but that's just the reality. I'm a realist at the end of the day. And that's just the reality of the situation. Sickle cell patients, sickle cell will forever affect us, will forever have an effect on us, our daily lives. Um, and it's just crazy. It's absolute crazy. Um, at this point, I said I probably made all of probably about 7 videos so far and a couple shorts. And I know they've been nowhere near the best videos. I understand that completely. Um, and like I said before, this thing was never for my intentions was never for me to hop on here and become the world's biggest YouTuber and make so much money off of YouTube or making money off of YouTube. That was never my thing. My passion and my dedication was simply to show people, open up a part of my life and share with the world something that affects my life drastically, as well as a lot of other lives that's not on here telling their story. Um, so I'm not really mad at the fact that I'm not receiving a lot of subscribers at the moment, or the fact that no one's commenting on them or anything, liking them or anything. That I can care less of really about any of that. My main goal and my main purpose really was to just open up and share an avenue of my life that not a lot of people really understand, and let you guys in to my own personal journey living with this illness. This illness have affected my life for the worst in more ways than one. There's been so many holidays or special occasions or a lot of things that I missed out on or had to miss out on due to dealing with complications of this illness, and 9 times out of 10 being in the hospital. So much so that it gets to a point where people don't even attempt to invite you to anything anymore, because the first thing gonna come to their mind is, oh, she probably in the hospital, or at least that's their excuse. Yeah, there's no need to invite her. She probably in the hospital. She probably don't feel good. And all of those things may be true, but the amount of pain that come along with thinking that that's how people feel when it comes down to you, because that's just how much of an impact dealing with this illness has on your life. Not trying to get this video removed or anything, but I'm not trying to show any body parts or anything, but I got real life scars on my body due to this illness that will be there for the rest of my life. Those scars you see there, you look at my neck, I, me having my veins being so damaged, me having actual just, oh God, just this is what happens when you're damaged. You have had so many IVs to the point where the majority of your veins is just gone. They're damaged. Um, Other than just having blood flow through them, they really aren't much good to you. At some point with some sickle cell patients, me in general, myself, I'm showing you what's going on. I'm showing you guys what's going on with me. Those marks in my chest though, was simply because I've had what you call a metaport. I've had a couple of them actually. The metaport is the device they use because when patients, well, it's not just sickle cell patients that get them though, dialysis patients, some dialysis patients receive them as well. But basically, it's just another form of IV access for patients that's really hard to get IVs because their veins are so damaged or whatever the case may be. And so I have those scars. I've had about 3 or 4 of those things implanted in my chest over the course of 35 years. Um, at the age of 9, I developed gallstones so bad that every time I went to the bathroom to urine, everything that was supposed to be my urine was nothing but blood. I was literally 9 years old in the 4th grade. Um, so I have a scar across my stomach from where I was 9 years old dealing with gallstones on top of, I'm thinking them gallstones came from complications with my sickle cell as well. I don't know. Like I say, I was only 9 years old when this happened. But basically, um, everything that was supposed to be urine was nothing but my blood. And so, come to find out, I had gallstones and needed my gallbladder removed. If you don't know what your gallbladder is, there you go. Do your homework on researching what a gallbladder is. But mine had really bad stones that caused me to bleed, and it came out whenever I urined. It was just blood. Um, so yeah, I have that scar as well going across my stomach from where they at the time they told my parents or my mom they were cutting me the old fashioned way is what they called it. They cut me the old fashioned way too. I got a long ass excuse me, Lord. I got a long scar across my stomach from where they cut me. To remove the stones, and then there's an additional. Thankfully, it's nowhere. It's an additional, like you can see where I had to wear what they call a colostomy bag. I'm pretty sure I ate that word up. It's probably, oh my God, tore that word up. I know that's not right, but a colostomy bag. I was 9 years old going to school with, having to go to school, elementary school, with the colostomy bag and a tube hanging. No, they call it a T tube. They inserted this tube inside my intestines. I'm guessing wherever for however or wherever that interacted with them removing my gallbladder. So I wore that colostomy bag and had those tubes hanging from my side. If anybody that I went to elementary school with that might run across this video, Y'all know I'm not lying. They'll tell you I'm definitely not lying. We was going to Belvoir Elementary School at the time, and literally, yeah, they did the biggest. That was the first big surgery that I had, and yeah, I had that tube in my side and connected to those bags for a few months. I know I can't remember exactly how long it was, but I do know it was over a course of a few months. Um, so yeah, I went through that, got through that. Thankfully, the Lord healed my body. I was able to get through that. I endured. It was just something else to write down in my testimony, another part of my testimony. Um, oh, well, in the process of me having that gallbladder removal surgery, um, if I'm not mistaken, that surgery was only supposed to be a 3 to 4 hour surgery, if I'm not mistaken. But for some reason, my surgery was, if I'm not mistaken, over 8 hours. And it turned out to be like over 8 hours. And for the reason for that was because the doctor that was the surgeon that was supposed to be there to do my surgery, to remove my gallbladder, this man was literally coming on a flight from an entirely different state. These geniuses at this hospital took it upon themselves to go ahead before the surgeon even arrived. They done took me down, came to my room, got me out of my room, take me down to the operating room, basically prepped me for surgery before this man even arrives. Um, from what I was told, they left. They actually started to perform the surgery before the surgeon arrived. Um, but when they got to the point where they had to stop and wait for the surgeon, these people literally left me cut open on an operating table. They left me cut open and just laying there. And if you know, you know. You ever been in an operating room? Operating room just worse than jail when it come down to the damn air, to when it comes to the air and it being cold. Um, literally, like cold as hell in there, like a damn freezer, like a damn morgue. Um, that's how I felt. They had me cut open on the operating table, and that, and so finally the surgeon arrives. They complete the surgery. They bring me back. At the time, if you know, you know. If you're from Eastern, if you're from Greenville, actually, or North Carolina, you know that in '99 we had a pretty big hurricane happen in our area, and everything was flooded pretty much for the most part. We had a very huge flood, and we lost a lot of people. People lost their homes. People lost some of everything. It was just crazy. But that was along the time that they decided to do my surgery and remove my gallbladder. So after the surgery was complete, well, now I have a whole new battle to fight on top of recovery because y'all done left me laying here open on a freaking operating table that's cold as a freaking morgue in here. You guys, now I have acute chest syndrome, which is basically, I say, like a relative to pneumonia. Um, but it's just worse. It's worse. It's worse. A lot worse. Um, Something that typically kills the majority of the sickle cell patients that get it, especially if it's not treated properly. Well, I ended up with this, and so I ended up staying in the hospital about a full month, I want to say. You might as well say a full month, actually. I stayed in the hospital a full month before um before I was able to be discharged to finish recovering from the surgery. I had with them removing my gallbladder. So that was that, thanks to sickle cell. And as you can see, ain't too much change. Freaking 15 odd years later, here I am, 35 years old, still going through the same BS. Actually, a lot worse, because like I said, once you ever make that transition over from being a pediatric sickle cell patient to an adult sickle cell patient, oh my God, the transition is so, oof, oh my God. Like, if I knew then what I know now, I wish I was a kid again, because it's they don't care once you become an adult. It's just like you just they could care less. Other than them getting that money off them insurances, they don't care at all. So due to me having issues with this incompetent ass fuck doctor that chose to discharge me, and I told him off gate that I didn't feel right. I've been telling them I felt like I needed a blood transfusion. I've been telling them that my pain has been a lot worse. I've been expressing all of this, every bit of it, and it's been disregarded or just go through one ear and out the other, and they feel like they know more than me because they're doctors, disregarding the fact that yeah, you are a doctor for sure. I won't take that from you. You earned that. I give you that. You a doctor or a nurse, but me, I'm a living testimony. A living testimony is what I am. I lived with sickle cell anemia 35 years now, and I can guarantee you, you didn't go to school for 35 years to be educated about how to properly treat and manage sickle cell anemia. I bet my last, damn it, I love Mountain Dew. I bet my last Mountain Dew on that. So we're not even finna do that. I'm not gonna take away from you what you know as a doctor or a nurse, but you're not about to take away from me what I live and feel and breathe every single day and been doing since the day my mama birthed me into this world. So when I say I'm a testimony, a living testimony, or I have a living testimony, I'll stamp that. And I just want to educate. My main goal, all I wanted to was to bring education, bring awareness, bring more awareness about this illness. That was it. My thing was to never get up here and try and make myself look like I'm better than anybody or like I'm more important than anybody else that's living with this illness. Um, it was really pretty much to expose and shed light on some of the darkness, a lot of the darkness that we endure living with this illness, and to hopefully prevent. I know I may not be able to touch all, reach out, or get this message to everybody, but it is very important to be tested for sickle cell trait. I feel like everybody, it's not that hard. I feel like everybody should get treated. If you don't know already, I feel like everybody should get treated for sickle cell trait. And on top of that, I feel like if you do know for a fact that you are a carrier and you have sickle cell trait, then we go the extra mile to make sure that anybody that we are sexually, having any type of sexual contact with, and not using the proper protection. Now I feel that knowing you have sickle cell trait, you should most definitely want to make sure that your partner is tested as well, to make sure, especially like I said, if you guys are out here and y'all having unprotected sex, uh, if y'all even planning a baby, or feel like you want to have a baby, or whatever the case may be, is nothing. And I'm pretty sure most insurances, if it's just not free anyway, I'm pretty sure most insurances covers you being able to get tested for sickle cell trait. Guys, man, y'all don't want to bring or risk bringing a child in this world to be born into this illness. I promise you don't. This illness, if you allow it to, it will break you in more ways than one. It will change your life for a duration in the rest of your life. I promise you. I wouldn't wish this BS. And I don't even consider myself to have enemies. So I kind of don't even like that little phrase. But I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Hell, I wouldn't even wish it on the devil himself. And I know this shit came from nobody but the devil. Nobody. I want to be a voice for the voiceless. Trying to continue to be a voice for myself. I'm not getting on here acting like I'm some big advocator for sickle cell or any of that, because I'm not. Honestly, I'm not. I'm just on here, like I said, I just want to bring awareness, help bring us some awareness to this illness and the seriousness of this illness. That's pretty much it. I know I look rough. I don't need nobody to confirm that. I know right now at this moment I'm going through it. I'm in pain. It's really a lot more that I really had to share, but I can barely even focus. I don't know if you guys can notice how good you guys are at reading body language, but I'm not even feeling this right now. That's just how bad I feel. And how tired I am. I'm really exhausted. Like, I ain't really been able to sleep. And me, I never sleep when I'm in the hospital. I don't mean no harm, but not especially being an adult. I don't trust them. I don't trust these folks. I don't. Well, a lot of the doctors and nurses I don't trust. But that's neither here nor there. That's an entirely different topic for a different video. But as we go on, things will come to the light. Hopefully my message will be heard by, like I said, if I'm not looking for hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I'm just hoping somebody could maybe get this video, and hopefully give them a little bit more of an insight of the life of living with as a 35-year-old sickle cell patient. Um, that being said, we now 45 minutes in. This is now officially the longest video that I've done thus far since I started making videos. This is the longest one, but I also know, at least I feel like it anyway. I'm not really sure, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit all over the place, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm just tired and exhausted. And me, like I say, I barely sleep in here, so a lot of times, and me, I'm worse than a kid to a certain degree because I'll fight my sleep to the end. Girl be literally about standing up there, gonna sleep, fight my sleep so bad instead of just laying down and going to sleep. Like I don't know, it's just a bad habit I got. Yeah, don't pick up that habit. That's just a bad habit I got. I fight my sleep worse than a baby. I really do. Sometimes, but definitely when I'm in this damn hospital, because that's just how much I don't trust these people at all. At all. And it's not all of them. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody to ever feel as if, oh, I'm just sitting back speaking ill or negative towards anybody that really does has good intentions as doctors and nurses. Like there are some good nurses and doctors out here. I'll get them there. I gotta get them their flowers. There are a few great. I actually know a few great nurses and doctors and nurse practitioners or whatever. But you know, as they're saying, it don't take really but a couple bad apples in a bunch. Really, one without benefit of the doubt, a couple bad apples in a bunch that make the whole damn bag turn bad and look bad. And so they all look all in the same look as one. It makes all of them look bad. Them. So there's that. Um, I'm tired. I'm in pain. I'm about to freaking get my nurse to come in and give me some pain medicine and try and take me a little cat nap, I guess. Um, and then see what tomorrow brings. Or should I say today? Is it after? Oh, yeah, see what today brings. So, that being said, you guys, I'm gonna bring this video to an end. If you're new to my channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit that share button, and I'll be back to y'all with some more videos. If y'all want or y'all got any questions or anything y'all want to ask me, feel free. I thought I posted something about that in the community, on the community tab, but yeah, if there's any questions or anything y'all want to ask me, any videos y'all might want to see, with me and my baby, y'all got any video ideas or whatever the case may be, just feel free to hit me up. My social medias, my Facebook is Tyranny Brooks. I'll try and see if I can put that in the description. My Facebook is Tyranny Brooks. Um, my well, I don't really post on Instagram or TikTok, but yeah. So my YouTube and my Facebook. Um, oh, you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Tyranny Pittman 0702. Um, yeah, that's my IG. So feel free to message me any video ideas or if you guys have any questions. Um, I know Q&A video. That's already one of my ideas. So you guys come up with anything else you may want to see. And then, like I said, anything y'all might want to know or see me and my baby doing. I probably just end up doing like a day in our lives or something. When I get out of here. Either way, you guys, I'm gonna end this video. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.